I'm going to show you my actual ETF portfolio today, and I'm going to show you the adjustments we've made, not a hypothetical, not a model allocation for this video, the real thing, every position, every percentage, and the reason why I'm holding the portfolio. And I want to tell you straight up, if this portfolio fits where you are, go ahead and copy it, adapt it, use it. That is the whole point of this channel, to share the information. Now, I want to be really upfront with something before we get into it. This is not your simple 3 ETF portfolio that we've shared before. This is a 6 ETF portfolio. Some of these ETFs are much higher risk, higher concentration, and that is not for everybody. I'm going to be honest about the risk in all of the positions we have here, because of course, anyone can tell you exactly what you need to be buying, but I want to tell you why it can go wrong and whether it makes sense in a specific situation, including holding that SCHD. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the reason I'm doing this, very simple. I think the best financial education is not the abstract, really just the made up. I want to walk you through the actual portfolio that I have that has skin in the game, making real decisions and the real reasoning behind the decisions that are made. Anyone can build up or mock up a hypothetical portfolio. It costs nothing. It carries zero accountability for the individual that has it. But what I'm going to show you, I own with actual money, my own real money that I've put in there. And I want to tell you exactly what's in it. And it's a total different conversation when you think of it like that. It is accountability, and that is what exactly this channel is built about. Now, there's a quick disclaimer before we get into this, because I am not a financial advisor. I am a certified financial counselor. This is educational content, and make sure you do your research before you invest your money. Your age, your income tolerance, your allocations, your timeline might be completely different than the portfolio that I'm sharing right now. I am 47 years of age, and if you want professional advice, talk to a financial advisor before making those major decisions. So let's hop into this and check it out. All right, guys, so like we've seen before, this is through M1 Finance. I have a link down below if you want to sign up. This is very cool allocation on how they do this. And of course, this is a debt-free journey. Just like you see right behind me, guys, it is the debt-free journey. I've been doing this for a multitude of years. Now, as we break down this portfolio, you can see we are at 446,000. So we are closing in $500,000 in this portfolio. And you'll notice right now, so far this year, we are up 30%. Let me make sure I can see this with the camera. We're up 30% this year. So think about that for a minute. Or no, in the last year, excuse me, in the last year, so last 12 months. So let's back this off a little bit. Let's look at a month. Now, within the last month, this portfolio has performed at a 6.79. So doing pretty well, almost a 7% return, definitely beating those high yield savings account as well as those CDs. When we look at 3 months, we get up to 13%. Definitely doing incredibly well, even though the last couple days, the last 2 days have been down in the market. We are netting a 13% return again over the last 3 months. When we back this to 5 months, we're at 14.60. Now, when we look at the regular allocation with the S&P 500 or the VOO, it runs about 10 to 12% every single year. So we are outpacing the VOO. Once we get to 1 year, like we've seen before, we are at 30%. So doing incredibly well. Then when we backtrack to all, which is 5 years in this portfolio, we are up 155% in 5 years, which is kind of crazy because we well over doubled. It's not the rule of 7, where every 7 years you're going to allocate that, because of course the portfolio is a little bit more aggressive. The portfolio holdings are a little bit more aggressive. And I know I'm going to get some flack because I do still hold the SCHD in here, and it is definitely pulling the portfolio down. But let's scroll down and see the actual allocations that we have in here. So looking at the current performance, like I said, we're at 446. Market gain is over $100,000. So think about that. Contributions, 346. Definitely had to get the contributions in there to go ahead and build this out in the entirety. Now we have gained over a 6-figure. When we make a video, when we talk about hitting that $100,000 mark, this market or this portfolio itself has gained value in $100,000 because of the contribution that I've made in here. Money weighted return right there, 155%. Now, before we get into allocations, I actually want to look at the benchmark because this is pretty cool. So I've benchmarked and looking right here versus the VOO, and I want to go back to when we made adjustments. So even when we look at 3 months, the VOO down here, let me bring this up a little, is at 7.91%. You can see debt-free journey, we're at 13%. Now the goal here is to outpace the market. When we look at the year, we're at 14.10%, which you can see right here. The VOO is 8.6 within the last 12, or excuse me, within the last 5 months. Within the last 12 months, we're at 27. The VOO is at 25. Now, that is the reason because we changed up some of these allocations once we started getting a little bit higher value in this portfolio. When I first built this portfolio, the VOO was the only thing that I was investing in, period, just the straight Vanguard S&P 500 for about the first 3 years of this portfolio in its entirety. But even looking at the benchmark over the last 12 months, we are outpacing the VOO, which is exactly what we want to do. Now, I did have a much higher allocation for the SCHD, which looking at the allocation right now is not the case. So looking at the performance as we see it right here, I carry 6 slices within the portfolio. And this is what I want to get into, guys, because this is really the meat and potatoes of the portfolio. And I want to run through the allocations like we've done before and show you, because I did make a couple of allocations. I made some couple of percentage changes in here that I really want to talk about. So right now you can see as a 30% allocation, we are holding the SPMO. Now I know Gary and a lot of other individuals, Jay, that comment about the SPMO and how absolutely exceptional it's doing. As we can see right now, it's up 39%, which is doing absolutely, again, phenomenal in the portfolio. And what I really feel about this, in my thought, I have 30% allocation into the SPMO, and then I have 20% allocation into the VOO. So when we think about this in the entirety, the VOO, the Vanguard S&P 500, has those 500 largest companies within the market itself. So it is a big chunk. The SPMO holds the top 100 companies within it. So it's almost a subsegment of the VOO. But when I start looking at a core strategy, we look at the VOO, we look at the VTI, we also look at the SPMO. So thinking again, foundation, thinking of core, thinking of a strategy of that nature, we have 50% of this portfolio allocated into the SPMO. Now, this is the change that happened that I actually made a little bit of adjustment with, because I took down my allocation in the VOO slightly. I increased my allocation into the SPMO slightly, which is what you're seeing right here. So now the biggest holding that I have is no longer the VOO. It has switched to the SPMO. And honestly, when you look at the highs that we've seen with the SPMO, when you've looked even at the lows, like the drawbacks, the Vanguard S&P 500 has not reached those highs, but the S&P 500 has reached much further and lower lows than we've seen with the SPMO. So the combination of these two, and again, this is going to be very big, and this is going to be the allocation that I use personally. I am 47 years old, have roughly 20 years until retirement. I want to get, and I need a lot of growth. In addition, this is a taxable brokerage account. So I do not want a lot of dividends in here. I don't want a lot of dividend returns in here, because ultimately, if I'm getting dividends out of here, I'm going to have to pay taxes on the dividends. I do not want to do that as it sits right now. If I can get this portfolio to $1 million or $2 million, then I can go to the point where switching some of those funds into something like the QQQI, the SCHD, I'm putting in something like a JEPI, where I can grow some income or get some income out of there if it's needed. Now, I got to take that with a grain of salt, guys, because if it is needed, a lot of people will get towards retirement. They have a pension, Social Security, they're debt free, whatever it may be. If they don't need the income, continue with the growth. Continue with the growth, create and build that generational wealth when it comes to building it out. Now, in addition, we do carry the QQQM, which is going to be the Nasdaq 100. So on one side of it, we have the VOO with the Vanguard S&P 500. Then we have the QQQM, which is the Nasdaq 100. This includes the top tech stocks, but excludes financials. So that is the big part of the NASDAQ. It excludes financials in the entirety. Then we have the absolute powerhouse, the Van X Semiconductor Fund. It is up 72%, which has a 15% allocation in here. It is absolutely crushing it. Now, one thing to note with this is it is focused on, in the entirety, within the semiconductor space. This is what we call an aggressive ETF. It focuses on the semiconductors. Now, another thing to note with this is one of 2 funds that I actually hold that do have some holdings outside of the United States. It has Taiwan Semiconductor. There's a couple companies within this one, and then QTUM, which we'll talk about in just a minute, that is held outside of the United States. So it is not within the VOO. It is not within the QQQM. Some of these companies that are not based within the United States will be in these ETFs and held in these ETFs. So it does give me, again, a little bit of exposure outside of same sector, but outside of the United States, the borders of the United States. Then, of course, we have the SCHD at 10%, guys. I want to keep this one, and I am going to keep this one in there. I know it underperforms the VOO, but I do not want to go in 100% growth within the portfolio. So for me, kicking back, I do 90% growth, which is kind of silly. So, but you also have to remember, guys, like I said earlier, this is my taxable brokerage account. I still have a 401k. We still have IRA accounts. We have a couple other investment vehicles when I start looking at this. This is the taxable brokerage account. So SCHD still 10%. And the reason being, when you look at M1 Finance, it's a little bit different on how they build out the portfolios, because when the dividends come in from the SCHD, the dividend handling, as we can see right here behind, is set to cash. So cash will dump it back into the cash that we see right up in here. When that goes in, it will reinvest based on my target allocations over here on the right-hand side, meaning that if the SCHD right now, you can see it's at a 10.1, you can see the QTUM on the bottom's at a 4.9, it will put the allocation, or it will put the dividends into one of my growth ETFs versus going to the SCHD, unless that SCHD is underperforming all of the growth areas in here. In that case, it would just reallocate or reinvest into itself anytime I put cash. So right now with this portfolio, every single Monday morning, I make contributions in here. That's why and how I've gotten to the point with the portfolio as it is. Every Monday, I do dollar cost averaging. I cannot lump sum investing as much as I would love to. I get paid every 2 weeks, probably just like most of you guys do. And then I have an allocation of a certain percentage of my income going back in here. Now, in addition, when it comes to all of the money that I generate here within YouTube, everything that I generate in YouTube in its entirety goes right back into this portfolio again. So when you're, sharing comments, when the video is getting out there, when it's getting more traction, when we're starting to see a really big growth factor in some of these videos, and the subscriber base is increasing, the revenue from YouTube is increasing, that comes right into the portfolio that I get paid on a monthly basis. So this is just kind of churning and burning. And honestly, being able to go in here and share all of this with you guys, I absolutely love. Getting your feedback about the SPMO, the SMH, the QTUM. And there are also going to be a lot of variations where when you look at this portfolio, even thinking of an individual, if you want to copy, if you want to paste this portfolio, great. If you're 20, 25, 30, maybe even 35, possibly even just dropping out the SCHD, putting more into like the VanEck Semiconductor Fund or possibly the SPMO, that's going to be your choice. Again, doing your own research. But again, as I would get closer, let's say 55 to 65, chances are I'm going to cut down a little bit of the growth, put a little bit more into income if it is needed at that point. If not, an income is not really an issue at all. I'm going to continue letting this portfolio run for an extended amount of time with the growth that we do have within there. And that's exactly what it's going to do. And that's exactly how that portfolio is going to go ahead and build in its entirety. So there it is, guys. There's the real portfolio, 20% in that VOO, 20% in that QQQM, 30% in the SPMO. We have that 10% in the SCHD, 15% in the SMH, 5% into the quantum computing. Every position size is really maxed up to the risk portfolio, the time horizon, the overall strategy that I have with my portfolio. And let me know in the comments, guys, if this portfolio works for you, because of course, is it going to be right for everyone? No. The simple answer is no. And I told you exactly who it's for, what it's going to look like. But the real thing is building with real confidence, knowing a plan, it is going to stand. And I do stand behind every position that I have, especially when it comes to the SCHD, because I know some people are on either side of the fence for this one. Now, here's what I want you to do. Drop a comment, your current portfolio, what you're looking at, what ticker symbols you have, what percentages. And if you want me to break down any of your specific portfolios in a video, definitely add the word review down there in the next comment. I'm going to pick a couple of the interesting ones when I see the portfolio. I want to break it down with some of the live streams that we have going on because I read every single comment and I reply to the ones that I can. And really the level of transparency that I have in this channel is complete. Definitely subscribe to the channel, guys. Like the video, give it a comment down below, because what I do is here we work with real numbers, real strategies, real accountability, and I'll see you in the next one.